500,000 Israelis uprooted from their homes. According to a recent UN report, international law demands such a move. The report called for Israel to evacuate all existing settlements and dismantle Jewish communities in the eastern half of Jerusalem. The UN considers all these neighborhoods illegal settlements that will one day be included in a Palestinian state. Global pressure to hand this territory over to the Palestinians mounts against Israel by the day, including tough words from the Obama administration. Yet on a recent tour of Judea and Samaria, CBN News found a much different picture than what is often portrayed in the media and world forums.
The population is growing. We're growing 4 times greater, 5 times greater than the national average in Israel.
David Haivri is spokesman for the Shamron Regional Council in Samaria. He says a growing number of Israelis are relocating to the area for the same reasons Americans move from the city to the suburbs: family-friendly communities, fresh air, and land at affordable prices.
Young families who wish to establish themselves and raise children look around and they say, where are our kids going to get a good standard of living? It's a beautiful scenery. We're up here on the mountain. We have great weather. It's cool in the summer. The prophets promised that the children of Israel would return to these mountains and rebuild these Jewish cities and Jewish towns, and that's what's happening.
While Haivri, like many here, is an observant Jew, 60% of those living in Samaria are secular. Ariel University is the region's educational hub, and its 16,000 students come from all over Israel. Arab students here are free to wear Muslim religious attire, and they study alongside Jews. We found a similar story at the nearby Barkan Industrial Park, home to some 150 businesses where Israelis work side by side with their Palestinian neighbors.
An Arab working in these businesses, in these factories, makes double or 3 times as much in some cases as he would make working for the Palestinian Authority in the Palestinian areas, and the ability to move up the ladder into a supervisory or a management position.
But life here is not without its challenges. The Jewish communities of Samaria are frequent targets for Palestinian terror attacks. The 2011 massacre of Udi and Ruth Fogel and 3 of their small children in the Samarian town of Itamar was one horrific example. They were murdered in their sleep by 2 local Palestinians. Further south, in the Judean city of Hebron, the situation is also difficult.
During the Second Intifada, we were shot at for 2.5 years here. There are still terrorist attacks here.
David Wilder is the spokesman for Hebron's small Jewish community. The city, which is mostly Palestinian Arab, is home to Judaism's second holiest site, the Cave of the Patriarchs.
This is the Cave of the Patriarchs in Hebron. Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Rebekah, Sarah, Leah, the patriarchs, the matriarchs of the land of Israel, of the Bible, they're all buried here.
You cannot let terrorism determine how you live and where you live. If you know that this is your home and this is where you're supposed to be, what would be more normal for a Jew to live in the city of Hebron?
In withdrawing from Judea and Samaria, Israel would not only be giving up a huge part of its past, it could be harming its future.
God forbid Palestinian terrorists, Hamas terrorists would be standing here. They would be basically in total control. And they won't need long-range missiles. They could reach basically to every town and city in this area.
Yuli Edelstein is a member of Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's cabinet. He lives not far from Jerusalem in the Judean town of Gush Etzion, another area the UN once cleared of Jews.
Without our total control here in these areas, I think we won't be able even to run a normal country here.
Edelstein told CBN that some of the same forces that oppose Israel's presence in these areas are also hostile to the U.S.
If the bad guys can do it to Israel as a democracy and can turn us into demons and apartheid and fascists and you name it, basically they can do it to every democracy, United States included.
President Obama makes his first presidential visit to Israel in March, and discussions over the future of Judea and Samaria are sure to be on his agenda with Prime Minister Netanyahu. Eric Stakelbeck, CBN News, reporting from Judea and Samaria.